What are dangerous goods? As you might expect, there is no absolute definition as to what constitutes a dangerous substance. In a school laboratory, science teachers are required to have a broad understanding of a set of regulations known as the Containment of Substances Hazardous to Health, or COSHH for short. In the transport of dangerous goods, a similar level of awareness is probably a good idea for the employee responsible for the load. The onus is on the industry to collectively operate with the safety of its employees and the wider public at the heart of its core business. The term dangerous goods covers everything from infectious biological agents, to flammable organic compounds, to explosives, to corrosive substances, and everything in between and back again, twice. Clearly, there are very strict regulations concerning how such goods should be transported. The sender of the goods is responsible for organizing the transport of the goods in question. This means the specific rules pertaining to the substances in question and the mode of transport by which it is going to be moved must be followed to the letter. Packaging and labeling dangerous goods. Consignors are responsible for training their employees in the handling, packaging and labeling of any substance which falls under the remit of the term dangerous. Many transport companies have specially trained employees called Dangerous Goods Safety Advisors (DGSAs). In many countries this is a legal requirement. These advisors are qualified to ensure that the goods in question meet the legal requirements for their transportation, whether this is by road, rail, ship or by aircraft. The global haulage industry has a database of organizations that run dangerous goods training programs. Individual companies are strongly advised to obtain accreditation from a reputable organization. Transport by aircraft. The Air Transport Association (ATA) is an international body which agrees that regulations for transporting dangerous goods. Cargo is regularly inspected and the penalties are severe if the inspection is failed, and even more so if any kind of accident, fatal or otherwise, can be traced to the transport of dangerous goods which were not declared as such. Again, specific advice from a DGSA is required whether you are using one aircraft or 500. The responsibility is yours and no one else's. Transport by road. In the European Union, the body responsible for enforcing regulations is the European Agreement on the Carriage of Dangerous, or ADR for short. As with the ATA, it sets out the rules and certification required which are enforced with everything from regular spot checks to full company audits. Once again, penalties can be severe, ranging from unlimited fines to long-term custodial sentences for infringement of the rules. Transport by sea. The rules for maritime transport are covered by guidance covered in the International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code, or IMDG for short. Regulations for the transport of fuels and other bulk goods are covered by a myriad of maritime and coast guard agencies who have specialist knowledge in this area. The transport of nuclear and radioactive material is covered by the appropriate nuclear regulatory authority. Again, prosecutions for infringement can be very severe. Transport by rail. This is much more country-specific, but overall the enforcement regime is covered by national bodies which oversee national regulations. A key piece of legislation in the EU is the Convention covering international carriage by rail. The Carriage of Dangerous Goods Regulations authority to refuse entry of goods which do not meet the guidelines for a particular country. In conclusion, the transport of dangerous goods by all modes of transport is subject to stringent international regulation for which the consignor will be held accountable for non-compliance.